If someone seems like the right match for a narcissist after a breakup, have you ever thought about how long they will stay with that person? Asking this question is one of the most difficult and painful things for people who have been with narcissists. The thought of the narcissist moving on so quickly, often with someone who only seems to be there for a short time, can make you feel cheated and confused. So why does it look like the narcissist is always moving on from one person to the next, never really settling down or being happy? The truth is that the narcissist's connection with their new supply is complicated. It is full of control, manipulation, and self-interest. We'll get into the truth about narcissists' cycle of new relationships and what makes them move on so quickly in this video. Read on to find out the strange reasons the narcissist might or might not stay with their new partner, and how this cycle is more about them than it is about you. Before we start, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with someone who might be having trouble understanding how selfish people act. It's important to have clear insights, and keeping connected can help people heal and understand each other. Alright, let's begin. It often looks like a narcissist's move to a new partner was quick, smooth, and almost easy. They quickly show their new source of approval, their supply, a lot of love, care, and promises of a perfect future together. The new person feels like they've finally found someone who will meet all of their emotional needs because of all the attention, gifts, and charm that comes their way. The real question is how long this relationship will really last, even though this time may seem like an exciting start. It's easier to understand this issue when you know how narcissists make connections, or more correctly, use them. When it comes to partnerships, narcissists are different from most people. Their main goal is not to grow together, have a deep emotional bond, or really care about each other. It's really about power, approval, and satisfying their never-ending need to be admired. How well their relationship works depends not on love or commitment, but on how much respect, admiration, and love they can get from the other person. If you're a snob, the question isn't whether or not the new partner is good enough. How much fuel, constant approval, praise, and acknowledgement this new person can give the narcissist is what matters more. The new partner needs to be able to make the narcissist feel beautiful, wanted, and better than everyone else. The narcissist may stay involved as long as this pattern of behavior continues, even if there is little to no emotional link. In a relationship, the honeymoon phase is when everything seems to be going great. Both people behave well, and the bond feels magical. This stage is especially important for narcissists. During this time, they do everything they can to get a new supply. They do this by being charming, charismatic, and making the new partner feel like the most important person in the world. Narcissists are very good at finding weak spots in other people, which they then use to control their new partner. They know just what to say, how to act, and what body language to use to make it look like they have a deep relationship. The new partner may think they've finally found someone who really gets them and gives them the approval they've been looking for. But this is all part of the narcissist's plan. They are acting out their partner's wants, needs, and feelings in a way that makes them feel good. But it's all part of a plan to keep them in the relationship. But as time goes on, the narcissist's real self starts to show. Too much attention, emotional highs, and constant praise start to feel less real and more manipulating, even though they used to be very appealing. The narcissist doesn't feel the need to work hard to keep up the initial charm. The narcissist starts to take their new supply for granted as the relationship goes on, just like they did with all of their other partners. Things start to get less exciting during the honeymoon phase, and the narcissist changes how they treat their partner. Like they did with the last partner, they start to put the new one down. It takes time for the narcissist to lose interest in, get angry with, or not care about the new partner, which hurts their once idealized picture of them. Just like the narcissist took less value from their past relationships, the person who was once looked up to is now treated badly. A narcissist can stay with a new partner for a long time or a short time. This is where things get really interesting. As for how long the narcissist will stay in the relationship, that depends on a number of things, but the main one is how well the new supply continues to meet their endless emotional wants. The narcissist may stay with the new partner for months, or even years if they keep giving them admiration, validation, and praise. This is true even if the relationship doesn't have any real emotional depth or equal respect. Their need for approval and praise can be so strong that a narcissist will put up with a shallow relationship as long as their ego stays high. But it's important to remember that for a narcissist, staying in the relationship isn't a sign of strong affection or emotional attachment. It's about keeping control, power, and their carefully crafted sense of self. So, even if the narcissist seems to be in a steady long-term relationship, it's important to remember that their commitment depends on getting attention and praise all the time. The thing that keeps them in the relationship isn't love or care for each other, but the constant supply they're getting. If their partner doesn't keep giving them praise and approval, the narcissist may quickly lose interest and look for someone else who can feed their ego better. Narcissists' relationships are always about power and approval in the end. They stay in relationships as long as their needs are met, but as soon as those needs start to change, they'll move on without a second thought, leaving behind a trail of relationships they didn't last because they were built on lies and emotional manipulation. When a narcissist meets a new supply, their relationship often goes through a familiar and predictable cycle, similar to the ones they had with their past partners. At first, things are exciting and mysterious. When a narcissist starts a new relationship, they often get excited about it and give their new partner lots of attention, charm, and praise. They may feel like they've finally found someone who sees them, treats them with respect, and offers them a happy future. The initial joy starts to wear off, though, as the honeymoon phase ends. The narcissist starts to lose the depth of their emotions that they used to show because they are bored or not interested. Over time, it becomes clear that the narcissist is no longer fully involved in the relationship, even if the change is small at first. They might start chatting with other people, acting like they aren't emotionally invested, or showing signs of being distant. People who are new to the narcissist will try to keep their attention by meeting their needs and wants. But the narcissist will only demand more respect, praise, and approval. If the new supply starts to weaken over time, either because they are tired of being asked to do things all the time, or because they start to question the narcissist's power, the narcissist will start to pull away. At this point, the narcissist starts to treat their partner badly, even ignoring them. This is the start of the negative stage. The narcissist will get angry if the new supply doesn't keep up with their high standards, or tries to make their own wants known. Sometimes they may start looking for a new source of support, someone new to make them feel good about themselves, and give them the approval they need. This sets the stage for another pattern of valuing more, lowering the value of, and finally throwing away. No matter if the narcissist is with a new or old partner, their relationships are always circular because they need to be validated, admired, and given ego boosts all the time. The narcissist doesn't feel love the way most people do. They don't connect or bond with each other deeply emotionally. They instead form bonds with people who can constantly boost their low self-esteem and make them feel good about themselves. For narcissists, relationships with other people are all about how well those other people can give them the attention, praise, and respect they need. When the narcissist thinks that their new source of pleasure isn't feeding their ego enough, they get bored quickly and look for someone else to satisfy their needs. This could mean meeting someone new who can give them the compliments they want, or it could mean trying to get back together with an ex-partner who they think can make them feel good about themselves again. In narcissistic relationships, the narcissist is always looking for affirmation. Once the narcissist thinks that their current partner meets all of their emotional needs, they consume them as much as they can, and then discard them when they are no longer useful. The narcissist's deep fear of being left alone is at the heart of this behavior. This fear makes them act and behave in ways that don't make sense or seem to go against each other. The narcissist may act like they have full power over the relationship, but deep down, they are afraid of losing their source of supply. Because they are afraid, they try to control their partner's behavior, limit their freedom, or play with their feelings to keep them in line. The narcissist's main goal is to keep the person emotionally dependent on them, always wanting their praise and never questioning their power. But the controlling actions and emotional manipulation aren't signs of love or connection. They're just ways for the narcissist to stay in charge and keep their ego high. But how long can this bad situation last? The narcissist and their new source can make the length of time very different. There are narcissists who see their new relationship as nothing more than a short-term distraction until they find someone else who can give them more attention or approval. Once the initial thrill wears off, they might move on quickly and look for someone who can flatter or admire them more. If the new supply is more naive or emotionally dependent, the new connection may last a little longer for those people. These people might not be able to see how they are being manipulated as easily, or might feel too close to the narcissist to leave. In these situations, though, the relationship will always end the same way once the narcissist loses interest or feels like their ego isn't being fed enough. They will devalue, reject, and look for a new source of fuel. In the end, narcissist relationships are never about love, care, or a real emotional bond. They only care about power, control, and feeding their huge egos. The narcissist will only stay in a relationship as long as they feel loved and accepted. As soon as that feeling fades, they will quickly lose interest and move on. Because the narcissist uses up the other person's emotional energy and then throws them away when they are no longer helpful. Narcissistic relationships are very hard on everyone involved. The narcissist will always want attention and praise, and it doesn't matter how many partners they have. They are always looking for the next fix to keep their weak sense of self together. For the new supply, this cycle can be very confusing and mentally draining. They might feel like they have to walk on eggshells all the time to keep the narcissist happy, and wonder what they can do to avoid conflict, or go back to the way things were when everything seemed great. They might be getting more and more angry and confused, because they can't figure out why the relationship isn't going where they wanted it to go. Instead of the emotional highs of the early stages, the narcissist may act in a way that causes doubt, emotional withdrawal, and manipulation. As the narcissist's attention shifts to other people and demands more of it, they may start to doubt their own worth. At this point, though, they don't understand that they are not really respected for who they are. Instead, they are just another way for the narcissist to get the approval and praise they need all the time. The narcissist will get rid of them just as easily as they got rid of other people when they can't play this part anymore. No matter how strong their connection may seem at first, narcissists rarely stay close to a new source of pleasure. They might feel like they've met the one, but this feeling of attachment doesn't last. It's not because they really care or feel connected, but because the narcissist needs to be validated all the time. When the thrill of a new relationship goes off, the narcissist stops paying as much attention to the other person. The narcissist keeps going from person to person, looking for new ways to be admired, get praise, and feel good about themselves. They might stick with one supplier as long as they feel liked or supported enough, but this doesn't mean they love or are committed to you. It's just a way for them to feed their fragile self-image. This person will move on to someone else as soon as they feel like they've gotten all the validation they can from this person, or if that person doesn't live up to their unrealistic standards. People in selfish relationships are always looking for new people to like and admire them. It can be hard to deal with these situations because they seem real and satisfying at first. They can make their new partner feel like they are the most important person in the world, which can be very attractive. You need to understand, though, that this is part of their plan to trick you into becoming their new supply and keep you interested for as long as possible. The narcissist's main goal is to keep their ego up by surrounding themselves with people who admire and respect them. But when they stop getting admiration all the time, they will start to mentally pull away. They might show signs of being bored, angry, or even disgusted by the new supply. At this point, the supply may start to feel emotionally drained and wonder what went wrong. But the truth is that the narcissist never really connected with them on an emotional level. They only used the supply to satisfy their own need to be right. In the end, the narcissist's ability to stay with the new source depends on how much they still need to be validated. As long as the narcissist gets the praise and admiration they want, they may stay with you. But it's never because they care about you emotionally. They will start to pull away as soon as the supply stops coming in. The narcissist may stop showing affection, mentally pull away, or look for someone else to give them the approval they need. This constant need to feel good about themselves is what makes relationships with narcissists so short-lived and, in the end, pointless. Although the narcissist may seem dedicated, their dedication is only real if they can keep up their self-image by getting compliments from other people. Thanks for reading about the complicated and often painful dynamics of interactions with narcissists. To heal and gain power, it's important to understand how these processes work. Please like, share, and subscribe if you found this topic helpful. This will help you stay connected and learn more about narcissistic behaviors and how to deal with them. There's also a space below for you to share your stories and thoughts. We should keep talking about this and help each other on our way to healing, self-awareness, and strength. Sharing your stories can help other people on their